My name is Claire Miller, and I'm 93 years old. When I went in service, I was 18.
What war were you in?
World War II.
Did the war affect you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't very pleasant because you're trying to advance and stuff like that. In other words, I was a forward observer for the 60 millimeter mortars. And that was, I had the communications. I had a big radio on my back that I carried. And when we run into an obstacle, like in Schaffberg, we couldn't go on because it was too stiff of bombing and stuff. So then I'd say, give me a couple rounds of lengths, so let me know from. So then when they landed, I could see, and then say so much to the right, so much to the left. Give me 16 rounds. Bing, 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 bing.
How many comrades did you obtain during the war?
Oh, there's quite a few in the battalion and that. There was, I don't even remember all their names now, but probably 20, 30.
Did you lose any comrades during the war?
Yes. Yeah.
Who?
How many?
Who?
2. One from North Dakota and one from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Had to leave them behind.
What was your reasoning for joining the war?
Well, it wasn't. The reason for it was that you had to sign up, and then when the time came, if they needed you, they just drafted you. That's how they drafted you in. A certain number came up, and they'd say, "Hey, be here at a certain time. Get on the train. We'll take you to Camp Sheridan." And then we sent me down to Fort West, Texas.
What was your duty?
My duty? Well, I worked in what they call a message center in communications. And that's why I say I was with the riflemen all the time. And when you run into a big obstacle, then I had to zero in, like I just said, with them give me so much to the left, give me so much, and then the mortar. Do you know what the mortar is? Well, the mortar is just a long tube, like about that thing on the table there, and you put in a capsule in the opening of it, and you got to get your hand out of the way, otherwise you blow it off. And I was with them, and then that give us a little more power to advance on.
How long did you serve in the war?
3 years.
Where were you the time of the bombing on Pearl Harbor?
On Pearl Harbor, I was in a bowling alley, bowling. I wasn't in I was a senior in high school. Yeah, I didn't, I wasn't in the war yet. I didn't go in until a year later. That's when I was drafted. Yes.
What was that like, being in the bowling alley?
Yeah. Yeah, I was on a bowling team from the little town of Cornell. And they had a little league, and they'd go, you know how they go, the bowling teams. And that's what it was, and that's where we were.
Did you like the war?
Definitely not. Very gruesome. Yeah.
What was your best memory of the war?
Well, there was no memories of how horrible it was. And, seeing everybody get blown up and stuff like that with all that shrapnel coming in. You had to dig a hole and get in a foxhole, what they call foxholes. You had a little shovel, you carried a little shovel, and every time you advanced, you'd have to dig a hole to get in so you get below. Like they tell you now to get underneath the desk if some terrorist comes in your rooms and stuff. Same difference. Only this was out in the open on the fields, and you just run for cover, try to cover so you wouldn't get hit by the shrapnel.